So you're driving down the highway and you pass a car where there's a dog with its head out the window. What do? Oh, maybe you smile, maybe you wave. Well, maybe you didn't know this. In New Jersey, that could get you a $250 to $1,000 fine and up to 6 months in jail. New Jersey, one of the only states that addresses an unsecured animal in the car under their animal cruelty laws. Joining me now is Bob Ragazzo, who is a defensive driving expert. Bob, welcome to Chasing News. How are you?
I'm great, Bill. Thanks for having me.
Now, Bob, I'm going to tell you, I've been driving for decades, and I had no idea that that was a law in New Jersey. It seems a tad excessive, $1,000 and 6 months in jail. I know for my dog, she gets car sick. She's got to have her head out the window. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster.
Well, you love your dog, and of course, you want to protect all of your passengers, not just the human ones. So we don't want to subject our pets to any kind of unnecessary injury or death.
So let me ask you, though, I mean, honestly, I don't know what the enforcement is on this, but I would like to know what stats are there about pets being killed? Is this a solution in search of a problem?
Actually, the interesting thing is we started this because our mission is to eliminate distracted driving. Now, we've got 25 to 30 million families in the U.S. that say they take their pet regularly in the vehicle 80% of the time, and yet they don't secure it. And they admit to being distracted. So it's not just the fact that the pet is at risk, but the pet is also jumping around the car, distracting.
Well, is there a difference, though? I mean, I've seen people with dogs on their lap while they're driving. I mean, you feel like the dog is driving. It's like the old SNL skit, Toonces, the driving cat.
Yes.
Toonces, the cat who could drive a car.
And I've seen that, and that's awkward. But there's a difference between that and a dog sitting on the mat in the back of your truck, right?
Not really, Bill, because any unbuckled passenger in the vehicle is a threat to everyone else.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate your time tonight.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Let's bring in tonight's A+ panel to talk about dogs in cars. Allison Young, Republican strategist, back with us. Good to see you, Allison.
Thanks, Bill.
And Garland Nixon, radio talk show host. Good to see you, Garland. Garland, I'll start with you on this. Where to begin? I can't imagine trying to wrestle my dog into a seatbelt. Seatbelts are made for people, not animals.
Well, you know, I've just thought about it. There was a time in my life when I had a two-seater and a girlfriend with a dog. So if we got in the car, I'd have to be like, well, I'm buckling up the dog, and you're gonna have to be, you're on your own, because hey, it's only $46 for you, $1,000 for the dog. Or I could get a ferret. It's a discriminated law. I could get a ferret, and then I don't have to buckle him up.
What do you think, Allison? Fair point?
I think Garland's point is fair. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but I think it's fair. The real question for me in this is, what problem are we trying to solve? If it's distracted driving, it's one thing. If it's animal cruelty, it's another thing. And if it's animal cruelty, then we should be looking at, why aren't we banning puppy mills? Why are we still allowed to sell pets in pet stores? Like, there are other ways to come at some of these issues.
I do get the distraction if you're driving down the highway and you got, really good-looking dogs with their face out. I know my kids, my wife, everybody always knows, like, oh, look at that dog.
There's the dog.
Right?
But it's, you always notice it when it's hanging out the driver's side window, right?
That.
You know when somebody's holding the dog and trying to drive. That makes me a little nervous.
Great point. All right, thank you, guys.